Okay, everyone, welcome to A&T Talk Wrestling. Of course, with your host, me, Trey. So, yeah. Well, since this is, of course, let's go ahead and put up the banner real quick. Going to be about Backlash and results. You know, of course, on our podcast, the link to which is available on our YouTube channel. So it is there. So if you want, you can easily go there and just, see it and go and listen into it. We did do our results, by the which me and my fiance have only one loss on that record. And by the way, it's the most humiliating one, by the way. I'm not gonna lie, it was. Could have done without it, but hey, it is what it is. So, going to go ahead and go over, our picks in which we made in the matches, just so you guys can know it's already been recorded on our podcast. The actual podcast was available on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, of course. ANT Talk Wrestling Podcast, so you can go look out for that. But our picks were Bianca Belair, Seth Rollins, Austin Theory, Rhea Ripley, of course, Bad Bunny, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, and Riddle, and Cody Rhodes was our picks. You can go back and take a listen in on it, so you can tell that I'm not, up here just pulling your leg and whatnot. But anywho, I got the matches and the results right here after actually seeing it as well. So I wanted to come in and just give our initial results on everything, how I see everything going, and how it was and how it is right now. How do I feel about it? So the first match started out with Bianca Belair, the Raw Women's Championship. This match was pretty good. I like the fact that the crowd was for Io Sky instead of, Bianca Belair, which is pretty good because for me, I feel as though, excuse me, it was a different look at these individuals. I'm just hoping that the obvious breakup of this group doesn't happen too soon because Dakota didn't get her chance to shine. Really, she hasn't. She hasn't gotten her chance to shine in any type of match. We know how Bailey is. She's good, period. You know, obviously, she's good, period. So you don't have to really worry about her. Io Sky showed us she can actually hang. Get that back up. She showed that she can actually hang with a main event individual like Bianca Belair, and Bianca did excellent as usual with her being able to, put people over. So the thing is, I'm just hoping that they don't break it up too quickly without giving everyone the ability to shine. I mean, Bailey obviously doesn't need it because we know who Bailey is, but just don't bury Dakota because you're like, oh, right, we got 2 out of 3. That's good. Hey, oh, well, numbers game. We got 2 out of 3 individuals who's going to be good. Who cares about the other one? That would be kind of crazy and crappy for my take. You know. So the next match was Seth Rollins versus Omos. I actually like this match. Omos did excellent. You know, for a big man in definitely in WWE, it's kind of hard. First of all, being a big person in wrestling, period. is hard because you can't do too much maneuvers. And I'm talking about tall, not wide. You know, they allow you to do certain things if you're small and wide than tall. You know, tall people aren't meant to move that much because you want to keep them safe and keep people safe, right? The less maneuvers they do, the safe everyone is, right? So that's why you see them, stiff and movable, lumbering almost all the time, lumbering. The only people, excuse me, that broke out of that was like Andre the Giant and Big Show, you know. But really, everyone else is not going to be able to do too much. Excuse me. But anyway, I like the match. I think God did not doing a lot of leg maneuvers with Omos because you wanted to keep him nice and fresh as long as possible. So Seth Rollins barely went after the man's legs, really, if you paid attention. That's one thing I do like. Yes, I'm saying something actually involved in match because I like Omos and I want him to be around for as long as possible. As long as he can do it, do it. And in order to do that, you need to keep his legs going. So you can't be doing like what Rey Mysterio was doing to people like Kevin Nash and just keep kicking at his legs all the time. You know, that's why his legs are bow legged and things like that. You know, save these guys so they can have a decent life after wrestling. You know, but anyway, the match was pretty good. Seth Rollins crazily tried to go for a pedigree on this big man for some odd reason. Hey, he landed the original stomp twice, so he could do the stomp. Did it twice, so you know. Then he got on the top rope and then stomped him from the top rope. Which is pretty good. You let him almost to go out with a real bang, if you will, because he still looks strong as ever, even in defeat, which is good because you can throw this man around and give him, squash matches to make him look good. But hey, he's still good. He's still powerful. He's still strong. I actually believe that a good match so far with Omar, since he's a free agent, would be to go after Roman Reigns. Because I've been saying that this man should go after Roman Reigns for so long. You know, how would Roman Reigns beat Omos? What would you do when even your, you know, powerhouse and Solo Sokoa can't do anything, right? He comes out, he won't be able to just overpower Omos. It's impossible for him to overpower Omos, right? What would you do if you can't Superman punch Omos? He just lumbers around, right? That's the type of thing I wanted to see. I know it's heel versus heel, so maybe it's turn Omos face a bit. Well, Roman sucks as the face. No, don't do that. Destroy his career. Don't do that. Destroy his career. Keep him a heel. Keep him a heel. Certain people just they are what they are. They one sided. They one dimensional. You know, no one really wants to see Rey Mysterio as a heel. He was in WCW. And where's WCW? Yeah. Keep Rey Mysterio a face. Roman Reigns is a heel. When he was a face, he was trash. Simply put, when he was a face, he was trash. He can't be a face. Well, maybe now change him from heel to face because he's already been a heel. Maybe a shocking face turn, but even that I'll be afraid to do. Keep him a heel. Let him stay like that for good. Good God, he'd be trash. He was trash. I'm sorry to say it. People who are Roman Reigns fans out there, he was trash when he was a face. He was trash. He was trash. He cannot be a face. He was trash. Just seriously, trash. Utter garbage. Nobody wanted to see this man be a face. No one wants to see this man win it. First and foremost, still don't. But as a heel, you can get behind him and understand him. As a face, no. But anyway, back to Seth Rollins and Omos. So that match was pretty good. I liked it. You know, MVP didn't get involved too much, which is great. You know, allow these two just to have a great match. And from the looks of it, I think it was almost 11 minutes. Yeah, it was almost 11 minutes. A solid, good match. One of the highest ones actually. Actually, one, two, the fourth highest out of 7 matches. This was the fourth highest match. The fourth highest match. Knowing the other matches didn't even get to the 10-minute mark. Like for real, other matches didn't get to the 10-minute mark. The main event didn't even get to the 10-minute mark. Seth Rollins and Omos had a longer match than Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar. So they gave them time. 10 minutes is good. That's a good solid amount. If you actually out there in that ring going 100 miles an hour for 10 minutes, with Omos big as heck as he is and Baylor maneuver, and they made a good match out of it. So, yes. I want to see Omos more on TV now, you know, doing matches, you know, actual matches. Because I'm tired of him being a you know, special, a PLE specialist. Only when the PLE comes out, you get his best. You can do that in a regular Raw or SmackDown match. Allow it to happen. Just think about how the ratings would be if you gave him 10 minutes in a Raw match. Seriously. Be great. Okay, now going to the third one. Third match. Austin Theory, Bobby Lashley, and Bronson Reed. Right? So this is pretty good. You know the end result is going to be the ubiquitous one person lands their signature on the other. The winning person, throws the other person out the way and pins the person who received the finisher, the signature. Big mouthful, but that's the multi-man maneuver that has to happen in every multi-man match. Pay attention. I'm not lying. Go through them all. You can go through them all. Every single solitary one ends like that. One person lands their signature and the other one gets dealt with. Either the person who got the signature lands on it gets tossed out the way, and the person who landed it gets rolled up into gets into the roll up and gets pinned 1, 2, 3, or they get a signature landed on them and then tossed out the way or just thrown out the way, and the person got the first signatures pinned. Right? It's always like that. So you see a bunch of signatures going on. The person throws somebody out the way and pins the individual there. This is the same situation. Bronson Reed winds up, I think he got speared by Bobby Lashley, if I'm correct. Yeah, I think he got speared by Bobby Lashley. Yeah, he has to because no one else hit him on maneuver. So Bobby Lashley gives him a spear, and Austin Theory winds up throwing Bobby Lashley out the way and pins Bronson Reed. Giving Bronson Reed his first L, so we don't have to worry about him doing that. And now he can go and have feuds forever, which is great because Bobby Lashley didn't need it. It keeps the belt on SmackDown because the only person who could have won it and brought it to Raw was Bronson Reed, by the way, because Austin Theory and Bobby Lashley are on SmackDown. So SmackDown kept their titles. Real truthfully, there was no title, if I'm right. Yeah, no title changed hands so far today. All the titles are back on the same brands they're supposed to be on. So yeah. So pretty good. I like that. Bronson Reed doing a top rope maneuver onto Bobby Lashley. He did like a little splash, like almost like I think, yeah, like Otis does. Like Otis does his little splash he does off the rope. He did that to the outside of the ring onto Bobby Lashley. pretty impressive. He can do a top rope maneuver. Okay. Not only can he just jump off it, he can do it outside the ring. I'm liking that. Keeping this man maneuverable, making him be a surprise. I already, as soon as I saw Bronson Reed in NXT, I don't even watch NXT, I was like, please bring him up. Please, please. And boy, am I happy he's up there. He's like certain people you look at, he's like, like, he's a better version of Otis. I'm sorry. I like to see big guys be dominant. You don't have to be bulky Brock Lesnar people to be dominant. This man is big and wide. Come on. He's dangerous. You're not lifting him up just because, right? Not everybody's going to do it. Hell, goddamn, Bobby Lashley couldn't even do it as easy as he wanted to. He went for that suplex maneuver, and Bronson counted it. So, yeah, it's pretty good. I like the ubiquitous tag, not tag, but the ubiquitous together fight thing they did with the heels ganging up on Bobby Lashley because he's going to be the one tossed out the way. So you got to look good. Taking on two caliber individuals as an Austin Theory and Bronson Reed is going to make him look pretty good. So definitely like that. Pretty damn good for Bronson Reed and Austin Theory to team up together. And go with Bobby Lashley to, be able to recover from that. I definitely like that. Bobby Lashley putting the full Nelson on Austin Theory. Excuse me, the Hurt Lock onto Austin Theory, and he does the Brock Lesnar maneuver, bringing that back, hawking us back to that moment where that happened because it's a good way out. And I'm hoping people do that more often because it doesn't break the Hurt Lock. It's still the full Nelson is still one of the best maneuvers, which it should be. Almost unbreakable because look at the situation you in. You got somebody's hands like this clashed, and your arms they like that and behind you, and you're a strong dude, and doing that, like you see how interlocked my hands are. Real truthfully, and of course it's not really like that. They're barely doing all that. They barely got you in it for real. Because if you really put them in, you can actually kill them. Look at Jordan Nielsen. For the people who think wrestling is fake. Well, ask Jordan Nielsen if wrestling is fake because the chokehold put him where? In the ground. But anyway, so I kind of like that maneuver though, like the fact that they allow for him to bring back that little Brock Lesnar maneuver. Austin Theory looks like he's doing his homework, which I do like because I do like Austin Theory, by the way. He's getting the pin, and then Bronson just does the splash from off the top rope. Bam, right onto him. They call it the tsunami. Sure is. Bam, right onto Bobby Lashley. Giving the breakup pin maneuver right there. Pretty good. So every man, even though it was in 6 minutes, had enough time to shine. It was not, real truthfully, it did not look that fast. It didn't. If you'd have told me that was 6 minutes, almost 7 minutes, that the same match afterwards lasted pretty much the same time period, only but what, 20, 30 seconds? Seconds more? A few seconds more? Yeah. Like, come on now. No one's going to expect that. Just keep an eye on that. Oh, trying to tell me I need to charge up my laptop. I'm not going to let that go out like that. Let me go ahead and do one of these maneuvers. Boom. Don't need the energy save. Don't need the energy save when I'm right here. Boom. Yep, don't need the energy save. I got my damn charger right here. Boom. Keep that going. I mean, I'm not going to be on here too long. I'm just going to explain everything. But, hey, don't need the energy save on there. You would tell me, oh, battery's about to run dead. No, it ain't. Charge it right on up. So, yeah, pretty good match. Liked it. Excellent. The fans were pretty good. First of all, fans were pretty good all night. You know. So I'm gonna talk about the next match, the Rhea Ripley Selena Vega match. Yeah, pretty much exactly as I said was gonna happen on the podcast. Rhea Ripley just wrapped it up, and then did the Riptide and called it a day. You know, I really don't know why they even had this match. I mean, I know they had the match because they wanted to have Selena Vega out there doing a Puerto Rico thing. You know, I understand you want to have the people cheer for Puerto Rico and things like that, but for real, everyone knew she didn't stand a chance in hell winning that match, and she looked like she didn't stand a chance in hell. But people definitely loved it. So the media event that's probably happening right now, Selena Vega should be asking for a push because at least the people in Puerto Rico loved her, and she came out there with the Puerto Rican flag. Literally, she got the whole Batman style cape going on, where she just spread the wingspan and sold the whole flag. Pretty good. I like the spot when she brought up the slipper, like she's going to be the mommy and behind, for those people who are uncultured, white people out there, minorities know who this is. If you're a Latino, if you're black, you know, what that slipper means. That you had that happen to you. By the way, you had to go and grab it. By the way, because the parents normally didn't always have it with them. Sometimes they did take it off their foot and did it. Other times they just like, nah, go grab it. Everybody received that. Be real. If you a tinge of brown, right, tinge of brown like this, you know what that means. That's not just a Latin thing, as you find out. You know, that's not just a Latin thing. If you're brown, you know what that is. So she basically trying to say she's gonna whoop Rhea Ripley's ass. Yeah, that was pretty fun. Again, this match only lasted just slightly more than the triple threat match. Pretty good. Of course, Rhea Ripley wound up winning. That was easy. Like I said, it's pretty much guaranteed. Just get one Riptide in and call it a night, and she did. One Riptide call it a night. The match after that, they said was the double main event, which is actually the longest reigning match here. Went to Bad Bunny, by the way. Far and by away the highest. Basically almost went 30 minutes, 25 seconds on the nose. Bad Bunny, Damian Priest. That was great. Seeing, Sergio Vega come out there, Carlito coming out there, Buff Carlito coming out there in between the match. It's a celebrity match, so for well it's going to have some shenanigans going on. But Damian Priest shot well in there. They did not forget about the table thing. Again, it's like the small things too. It is important. And I do have to say that because don't forget, when you hear certain things that stand out to you, like, oh, wait, those ear popping maneuvers. Oh, wait, hold up. What did he say? He did say if Bad Bunny interferes in that match, he's gonna go get put through another table. So I was getting mad because of not because the Bad Bunny's about to lose. I didn't give a shit. I was mad about that, but I was like, you did the South of Heaven, didn't pin, and then you about to pin him, and I'm like, wait. After all this, you forgot about the table thing. Now I'm glad they didn't. They pulled the swerve on me as well. I was literally thinking, okay, don't do that. I was like, yo, don't forget about the table thing. Because if he's going to actually do it, he's going to actually do it, right? Because like you made the threat, you can't forget about it. This is about what, week or two ago. Come on, be real, bro. So they did do it, and he did put Bad Bunny to a table again, as rightfully so he should, because he did say that. So I was like, one of not both of them, and both of them went through. theoretically. But I was like, somebody got to go through that table. I mean, it's a street fight. You brought up the fact that he put Bad Bunny through a table. He threatened him if he popped back up again and try to interfere, he's gonna go to another table. You had to do the thing and put him through the table, right? And I'm glad they did that. The match went pretty good. The build was pretty good. The dramatics was pretty good. I'm surprised Bad Bunny got just about as much, if not more, papyrus than Cody Rhodes, by the way. But yeah, it's pretty good. The whole thing with the Judgment Day coming out there to defend, Damian Priest, and then gets attacked by the Legends and LWO. Pretty good, allowing everyone to shine. Carlito coming out of all people. No one saw Carlito popping up. This time I can say Carlito Caribbean Cool popping up. No one expected Carlito be there. Be real. No one expected that. And he did spit in the face of Dominic because Dominic doesn't like to be cool, so he spit in his face. It's pretty good. Pretty good. I love that match. It's pretty good. Definitely enjoyable. The long spells of, Damian Priest beating the hell out of Bad Bunny was pretty authentic. I mean, he's not a wrestler. So a good couple of shots on him will do pretty good. The fact that it took damn near everything that, Bad Bunny had to beat Damian Priest was great. Taking out his leg, put him in a finger four. Who knew he put him in a finger four? He knew a finger four. What the hell? And to hear that Damian Priest of all people, trained him. Like, you might want to watch out for that. He got, bro, that's a good second string, thing right there. Look at that down line. You got that in you. There's no way. Put that, lock that in the back of that mind right there. Say, hold on, yeah, that's gonna be the secondary contract, secondary income. Damn straight, secondary income. No way you took Bad Bunny. And I do know he was trained by other people, right? Like Rey Mysterio and others like that, if I'm correct as well. But when he first came in, excuse me, when he first came in, it was Damian Priest. Damian Priest. Like, for real. That's shocking. I'm like, hold up. Bro can do what now? Bro can do what? You can train people to wrestle? For real? Like, dude off the street? You can train? Oh, okay. I got you. So it's pretty good. And the fact that came in handy, and I'm glad they stated that. And it looked one-sided as well, which I'm glad it does, because it puts into perspective, like, okay, he should know a lot of Bad Bunny's maneuvers if he trained them, right? So a lot of one-handed stuff to be able to just manhandle him should be there. He got the strength and whatnot. Is a obvious strength difference between him and Bad Bunny, and the knowledge difference. The main thing is the knowledge difference. So that's why it should look lopsided as it did. It's different if you're like, oh yeah, he was just strong, and take that with a weapon, take care of that. But he knows your tendencies. That should be a thing. So he should know those maneuvers. That's why it should be a long, drawn out beatdown. It should be one sided. Damian Priest should be able to do a South of Heaven and almost win like he did. Everything mashed up, right? But anyway, loved it. Loved the appearances from the Legends and everything else like that. Rey Mysterio coming out there. First and foremost, told him early on with a Batman mask. Whatever the hell happened to that. But maybe because he changed the mask because of he wanted to wear the Puerto Rican colors, which is nothing more than American colors. But hey, But anyway, good match. Thumbs up for the results. Not going to lie about that. This is the match which next match is going to be the one I definitely going to talk a lot about. So I'm going to lead that one. and go to the main event, which was Cody Rhodes versus Brock Lesnar. Again, I got one more match to talk about. I just don't want to get into it yet because it might take a rest of about 30 minutes for just that alone. But let's go ahead and talk about Cody Rhodes versus Brock Lesnar. Still to this day, we don't know why Brock Lesnar attacked Cody Rhodes. I mean, seriously, we don't know why that happened. What happened to WWE banning blood? Maybe they couldn't do it because it happened anyway, because he happened to bust his head open. I mean, it is what it is. If you actually do get cut open like that, finish the match, they're just not aiming for it. Must be. I hope that's the case. Like, all right, we're not directly aiming for it. If it happens, it happens. That would be great. WWE, if they listen in, that'll be a great idea. Don't overdo it. The WCW overdid it, and now AEW is doing the same. They overdo it. John Moxley can't, breathe without bleeding. This man bleed more than women on their period. So don't overdo it. Allow it to happen if it happens. Don't overdo it. You shouldn't be in a regular, raw match and random ass mid card raw match and person bleeding all over. Like, what the hell? But it's like that with AEW. That's one thing that people have a problem with. It's like they need to calm down on the blood. WWE need to up the blood. And if this is the new thing where they're not going to be focusing on it, and it happens, that would be great. Because you got my attention on that, because it happens. It's just like, hey, there you go. If it happens, it happens. Just let it go. You did what you did. But anyway, that was pretty good. Cody Rhodes landed a couple of crossroads on Brock Lesnar. I'm glad he kicked out of two of them. He should. I mean, finally being consistent. I mean, this man takes like hella spears and Superman punches and kicks out. He should be able to kick out of two crossroads. I mean, come on, be real. It should take Cody Rhodes' ability to like a roll up and call it a day. I'm glad they brought back his armbar. Brock Lesnar's armbar. I've been missing that because I was mad. I was like, he has a submission maneuver that he never did, that I loved. When he was with Paul Heyman. Oh my God, he broke his arm. He broke his arm. Once I saw him put him in, I was like, oh my God, he's doing that? Like, I was really happy about that. You don't know. I'm an old head, so my Brock Lesnar was scary. My Brock Lesnar was scary. F5 and everybody, breaking the ring, breaking people's arms with that same maneuver, if I'm correct. The armbar, so I'm glad Brock did that. I think he's doing that for people like me, like, oh, I didn't forget the maneuver. It's there. It's in my arsenal. He'll do it. Like, for real. I'm glad he did that. I might, find his Twitter page and say something about that if he has one, and I know it, because I'm like, for real, that was good. I was really happy that he did that, because that was like, I'm bring that back. Bring that back. I want to see him do it again. One more time before you retire. Break somebody arm. Break somebody arm with it. Break somebody arm with it. It don't have to be Cody Rhodes. It can be somebody. It's anybody. Break their arm with it. That'll be great, Brock. Break. For us old heads. Remember when you was, that scary Brock Lesnar. Back in the past when everybody hated you because you beating everybody. Right? Just like, oh, like Brock beat him. Yeah. He just beat him because he's Brock Lesnar. But that was a great match. Loved it. Ended the way you should. He beat Brock Lesnar with a roll up. He should not beat Brock Lesnar clean. Brock Lesnar bled. I don't think he was meant to bleed. More likely he wasn't. It just happened. And I'm hoping WWE again keeps that up, allow for them to bleed if it happens. If it happens, don't try to go out there and do it. You know, go through matches. If you bleed, you bleed. But don't try to make it happen. Right. But anyway, that was pretty good. Cody Rhodes winning should be dealt with this whole thing with Brock Lesnar. Hopefully it is. Don't try to make this a long, drawn out type of storyline. It doesn't need to be. It should be one and done. Call it a day. You know. Now on to that match I was going to talk about. The Bloodline taking on Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, and Riddle. That match ended the way it shouldn't have. The only one I got wrong. You just had the tag champions. I don't care if it's Matt Riddle who got the initial pin, but you have the tag champions losing to a group of individuals who are fighting each other. So Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens are so trash that they can't beat a team infighting. A team that they beat supposedly together. Solo Sikoa is that much of a difference that he can beat both, not just both, all three of them by himself. That's what you just showed, that he can beat the tag champions by himself. That he didn't need, if he would have had a 3-on-1 handicap match, he would have beat those guys. That's what you just shown. That the tag champions are so much trash that even infighting, and I do mean really infighting, because Jey Uso super kicked, I think, his brother. And Solo was about to Samoan spike him. And yet all this infighting going on, they still want to win it. You should let them lose. Retire this whole thing. I mean, one of the people in my group, because I'm a part of a wrestling group, was talking about how they're tired of it. Allow something to happen. The will they, won't they type of thing is ridiculous. In this shit, the will they, won't they need to stop. And I'm with them. I'm getting tired of the will they, won't they, can they, how they type of thing. Dragging this storyline on for this long is already tiresome enough. People are tired of it. Seriously, they are. They hate seeing the bloodline go through this shit. The invisible Roman Reigns, where you have, Paul Heyman faking like he talking on the phone and whatnot. Doesn't matter. Everyone's tired of it. They want something real. Is Roman going to show up? Is Roman going to do anything? Now he really can't, beat the hell out of them because they won a match against Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. No, they don't have the tag titles, but they did beat them. Yes, it was Solo Sikoa doing most of the work, but they were there and they won. Now, I'm tired of it. Like, it gets to the point where I don't even watch Bloodline segments anymore. Again, I wasn't watching them beforehand, barely keeping up with them. Now, if I see my fiance was here, she was awake, she would say the same thing. I don't. I put on mute and start talking to her. Don't care. Turn the channel. Whatever's on, I don't care. Because it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. At some point in time, we need to have a legitimate, type of thing where they just do what they need to do. Get this man to 1,000 days. He cannot get to 1,020. He cannot get to 1,400. This man is trash. This storyline is trash. Let it go. Let it go. Frozen. Let it go. This storyline is frozen. So let it go. For real. This is ridiculous. This shouldn't be ending this way. We don't want to see any more of this shit. It's tiresome. Why do you think AEW is selling 60,000 tickets for an event they don't even have matches for yet? For an event they don't have stars appearing yet? For an event that everything up to now is speculation. because people rather see AEW in their storyline because WWE keep holding on to fucking Roman Reigns and don't know how to let his fucking ass go. There's no Roman Reigns in AEW. To this day, right now, we know full goddamn well, even MJF can lose the title by on a random ass Wednesday, which makes AEW so much better because we don't know. The suspense is up there. All right, so we expect that MJF is going to keep the title for a bit, and we think he's going to stay for about a year, right? It don't mean anything. He may lose it at All In. Excuse me. He may lose it All In. Maybe even to CM Punk, right? We don't know. Or hell, we don't know what's going on with Drew McIntyre. He may be leaving WWE, and if he jumps ship to AEW in enough time, he may lose it to Drew McIntyre. So for real, is AEW has that at their disposal, the ability to like that to a championship reign. You can have for 200 days on a random ass Wednesday. You may have for 500 days like that on a random ass Friday. You may have for 600 days like that now on a random ass Saturday. Oh, you had for 1,000 days. We somehow made you a Roman Reigns or ROH. Like, what the hell? I lost the title on ROH on streaming? Yup, on streaming service. Like that. Take the title off you. No one's sacred. No one's safe. I love that. Titles can like that and change hands. So that's why when people like FTR has belts, 3 belts, and carry them like that, like they were, and having a long reign is great. If you think I'm lying, take a look at what they did with the Acclaim going against, Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland. The first time they had it, people were cheering for it. They wanted to. They were white hot. They didn't call it audible. Then they pulled the Roman Reigns. But guess what they did? On a random ass Wednesday. Y'all losing the titles. Give it to them white hot motherfucking boys. Quickly. Just like that. The same thing should have happened on the Raw after. Roman Reigns, I don't care if you got a vacation plan. If you want to keep your vacation, you can keep it, but you gotta drop one of those belts. So Cody Rhodes gonna come out, you're gonna lose to Cody Rhodes on a fucking Monday, a random ass Monday night. Roman loses his title, just like that. Think about that and how shocking it would be to happen on a Monday night Raw. A Monday night Raw. You would not seen it coming. But that's the point about wrestling. You make people want to watch. AEW make you want to watch because the titles can switch hands so quickly. That's why I like it so much. And that should have been the same thing that happened here. The Bloodline should not have won. They would have had all this infighting. You could have kept the champions looking strong, had them go out there, beat the Bloodline. Now you had the infighting going on because now they beat the damn Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. But what, still got the infighting thing going on? Why? You won. You won a match. Yes, you had the titles, but you won. You beat them, so you can probably challenge them again. They had to go on both Raw and SmackDown. You see why they shouldn't have won? Because now the storyline continues on until Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens eventually beats again for like the 15th to 100th time the Bloodline. It's bullshit. I'm tired of it. I really am. And you can't say Soul Cole is going to turn on Jimmy and Jay because he turns on Jimmy and Jay. First of all, it's 2-on-1, by the way. as you seen, though, they had the numbers advantage. They can just kick the shit out the motherfucker's grill. And who gives a shit if Roman Reigns, he's barely there anyway. And so Solo's going to be going through squash matches because that's what's going to be until Roman has to show up. It's just stupid. This thing needs to end quickly. Quickly. Give him to his 1,000 days and probably have him lose the belt at Night of Champions. Straight up, that's what I would do. Night of Champions and have him lose the belt. At least one of them. You know, something like that. It'd be the first time he's pinned in 1,000 days. Because right now it's bullshit. Get him to 1,000 and quickly get this over with. Because I'm tired of it. My fiance's tired of it. Everyone's tired of it. You know, at some point you gotta call it a day. Sometimes you gotta call it a day. And go to and say, sayonara, guys. You know, let them go. You know, like I said before, the storyline is frozen. So let it go. That's why I want to say that one for last, because that one was really bullshit. You know, I'm glad they did send people home happy at least. You know, if you don't have a bullshit storyline going on, don't end on it. So that's one thing I say good about Triple H doing that. But anyway, now you know the results. We had one wrong. By the way, one wrong. By the way, gonna go ahead and get to the camera. One wrong, and that was that match. Other than that, it was good. Easy chalk. You know, Selena Vega stood no chance. I'm glad she didn't. Io Sky did, but again, Bianca Belair persevered, which is good because she's doing what Roman Reigns is doing, but in a better way because she's having quality matches and still winning. This is going to put her on a pedestal above all, you know, WWE, some of the female superstars, right? Because her reign is going to last long. I don't think she should lose anytime soon. I think WrestleMania of next year, she should put the belt on the line, maybe lose it then, but not now. Even SummerSlam, let her go through it. She should still power through, put some real distance between her and the previous number one person, so it's noticeable, right? So she shouldn't lose until at least next year. You know, she should carry that belt until next year. Same thing with Rhea Ripley, WrestleMania, or hell, maybe SummerSlam with Rhea Ripley if you want to have a good storyline with Rhea Ripley chasing back after the title again. You know, that would be decent. But real truthfully, that doesn't have to happen. You know, but yeah, possible. You know, you do have that. Excuse me. So you do have that possibility. But yeah, Roman needs to lose his title quick, fast, and hurry. If it's on a random ass Friday or Monday, I wouldn't be mad. The dude need to lose as quick as possible. Get that 1,000 some odd days and then let him lose at Night of Champions or fuck SummerSlam if need be. You know, or Money in the Bank if you want to make it as July as well. You know, in the next 3 months, you need to lose the belt. You know, definitely the Money in the Bank winner needs to be able to cash it in on Roman. You know, do something that Austin Theory dumbass couldn't do because there were times when Roman could have been pinned. You know, definitely a War Games match they had. He was the last dumbass to come into the damn fucking cage where everyone's locked in. I would have took my damn briefcase, slammed it against the back of his damn neck, rolled him up and pinned him and took the belts away from his dumb behind. Easy. Like, why are you talking about you couldn't do it, Austin, with Roman Reigns? You could cash it in on him. Right while he's walking down to the ring in that damn cage match that he had at War Games. As soon as you get the chance to come in, bam, beeline him right in the back of his head, pick him up, A-Town down, boom, Referee counts right there on the spot because that's how it goes. You don't have to be in the ring. 1, 2, and 3. Right there. Take your belts, leave his ass. Right? But anyway, this is going to be now where I end the broadcast. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and of course, share the podcast. Our podcast is available on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. The link to our supports are available on the webpage. So you go to the YouTube page and actually see it. It's right directly there. You just click on one of them right on the homepage. One of them, whichever one you want to look at. You want the wrestling one, the A&T Talk Wrestling, podcast one. You got that right there. You can click on it and talk about different things on there than we do in the live stream. You got the, Not So Common Sense podcast. That's mine, where I talk about politics and whatnot. That's available there as well. So that'll be very beneficial. Anyway, later, guys. Peace.